Yeah, this one. Okay, so the last one was 7 months ago. Okay, this one. Honey gets terminated as lawsuits proceed. Sure.
This is a cease and desist letter sent to me by PayPal's lawyers in December.
I forgot that was his voice. I forgot he.
This is a cease and desist letter.
He's from. He's from New Zealand. He's from New Zealand. I know that stupid accent anywhere. Yes. Okay. I thought so. Cease and desist law. I can't even do it. I know so many people from New Zealand. I fucking spot them a mile away. You can't hide that accent from me.
Sent to me by PayPal's lawyers in December of last year. In it, PayPal warned that my investigation was, quote, defamatory and described Honey's business practices as being, quote, legal and responsible. Well, just weeks after publishing that.
So if I recall this, what happened is they were redirecting links to their own stuff. I believe that's what happened here.
Investigation, 3 of PayPal's largest affiliate network partners announced punitive actions against the company, with one of them, Rakuten, terminating the relationship with Honey entirely, resulting in their removal from over 2,000 online stores, including Walmart, Lego, Sephora, Newegg, Uniqlo, and Samsung, to name a few, likely costing Honey millions of dollars in lost affiliate revenue.
I can see why they don't like you.
Ouch. As a result, PayPal issued a statement of regret a few days later, claiming they had no idea they were in possession of code responsible for poaching affiliate commissions from content creators, insisting they only discovered the code after my reporting exposed it. The same reporting they had just claimed was defamatory. Yeah, that makes sense. Now, not only is PayPal's claim that they had no idea a provable lie, but the code in question was formally included as evidence against them in the ongoing federal class action lawsuit. A lawsuit they desperately tried to have thrown out. Twice. But unfortunately for PayPal,
they were changing everyone's affiliate links to their own, were giving out coupons, they had no right to have had no right to have such an employee discounts. Okay, yeah.
Well, the federal judge handling the case recently denied their motion to dismiss. Whether PayPal likes it or not, this lawsuit is moving forward. So in this video, I'll be walking you through everything that's been happening behind the scenes. The lawsuits, network terminations, CEOs attacking my credibility while profiting from Honey, hit pieces from industry publications who also have ties with PayPal. Turns out, I've pissed off an entire industry. So, let's get into it.
Oh no, okay, sure. It's been a while since we've heard anything about Honey. Honestly, I'm kind of curious what the update is.
One of the most interesting things to witness after releasing part 1 of my Honey series was the reaction
from 19 million views? Sorry.
The interesting things to witness after releasing part 1.
Fuck, that did crazy numbers. Now, I do think a lot of the early coverage, it did sort of paint people like, I know people don't like Linus, right? But like, Linus, long before this video had come out, had already dropped Honey.
Of my Honey series was the reaction from the affiliate industry, particularly those who stood to gain the most from Honey's business model. For example, Adam Ross, the CEO of Awin, one of Honey's largest affiliate network partners, wrote a LinkedIn post basically insinuating that my video was sensationalist clickbait. Then there were guys like Brooke Schaff, the founder of a company that supplies monetizable coupon codes to Honey. He published an entire blog post calling my video a hit job, declaring that Honey did nothing wrong and that I was, quote, 100% wrong. And there were even publications that
was that one of the companies that pulled out? Because that would be funny if it was.
Aim at my work with headlines like, what Mega Lag got wrong, who I later found out also had ties to Honey. Point is, the ones complaining the loudest all turned out to have skin in the game. But then I revealed the one thing they couldn't spin. Honey wasn't—
Let's use LinkedIn for crying. What else is LinkedIn for? LinkedIn is for crying and sucking the dick of your boss. That is, and also posting shit, just the craziest fucking statements that don't even remotely align with reality.
just stealing commissions, they had intentionally built an entire system around hiding that behavior from the industry. The system was designed to profile who you were as a user. If you look like a regular shopper,
Oh, yeah,
Honey
there was
ignored
this as
standard
well.
rules and allowed influencer commissions.
Right,
to
they
be
also had the auditor checking. Right.
diverted into their own pockets. But if you look like someone from within the industry, Honey suddenly played by the rules to avoid getting caught. They effectively engineered a defeat device, and with this revelation, the industry had no choice but to respond appropriately,
Like,
including
that's
the ones
incredibly
who profit
bad.
from Honey's business model. And the first to act was Rakuten, an affiliate network that connected Honey with over 2,000 online stores. Just weeks after exposing PayPal's defeat device, Rakuten terminated their relationship with Honey entirely and sent the following notice to their clients. We're writing to let you know that publisher Honey has been terminated from the Rakuten advertising network. Therefore, this publisher has been removed from your affiliate program, effective immediately.
Yeah, the
Boom.
selective stand now.
Just
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that,
yeah.
Honey lost access to over 2,000 online stores, many of which were very big brand names. That is a huge hit for PayPal, but it also sucks for Rakuten because keep in mind, affiliate networks like Rakuten are the organizations who run this industry.
Sure.
They set the rules, they enforce compliance, and they control the flow of sales. So when something as damning as this is brought to light, it's terrible PR for them.
Rakuten?
The fact that
I
a
don't know.
YouTuber
That's how I would
with
say it.
zero experience in security research uncovered blatant fraud they had missed for years, it looks bad.
Well, look, I don't want... They cut ties, but look. Do I think that they would have cut ties if it didn't get 19 million views? Do I think they would have cut ties if there wasn't a big lawsuit? Well, you know, just look at the history of how a lot of companies behave when bad things happen.
That said, while networks like Rakuten need to be seen enforcing the rules, they also earn a significant amount of money from publishers like Honey. You've probably heard the saying, money doesn't grow on trees, right?
I think their concern was if they were enabling part of this, they could have been brought into the lawsuit. Like, I think that's the legal move. That the cost of doing business with Honey was too great for the potential risk.
Well, the affiliate industry, it kind of does. And for networks like Rakuten, Honey is one of the larger trees in the orchard. But wait,
Let alone the fact that a lot of stores could have pulled out from them, which could have been even bigger.
doesn't Rakuten have its own coupon cashback extension? Yes, Rakuten Rewards is technically a competing extension. Ironically, one they two are being sued over, but that's a completely separate
Okay, they have their own lawsuits to deal with, sure.
side of their business. As a network, Rakuten still earns money every time Honey claimed commission for a sale. So trust me, they did not want to lose that partnership, yet they cut them loose anyways. So initially I thought, damn, well done Rakuten, the first network to take action against PayPal, even when it was detrimental to their business.
Okay.
But that all changed after some internal emails between PayPal and Rakuten were brought to light through discovery in the ongoing class action lawsuit. According to court filings, internal emails between Rakuten and PayPal show Honey has repeatedly violated Rakuten's stand-down policies from as early as July 2020 and continuing even after the filing of the complaints in this action through at least May 2025. Yikes! Not only does that look bad for PayPal, but it also looks terrible for Rakuten. They knew Honey was violating their stand-down policies for years, and the entire...
Yeah, so my theory is right. They didn't actually care, because either way they were still getting paid. They only cared when it became a legal liability. It became something where they could potentially get dragged into another lawsuit.
time, they kept Honey on the network anyways. Now, some of those emails made it onto the public record, and after reading through them, the dynamic is honestly insane. In this one email chain, Rakuten flags a stand-down violation to PayPal, and while PayPal initially responds, they then start ignoring Rakuten's emails, forcing them to repeatedly chase PayPal for an answer. This goes on for weeks, and when PayPal finally addresses the violation, they tell Rakuten that their stand-down policies are, quote, overreach. The fact that PayPal feels confident telling a network that their rules suck really speaks to who actually runs this industry. After seeing those emails, Rakuten's termination of Honey looks a whole lot less like them taking a principled stand, and a whole lot more like them pretending to act tough on compliance, knowing those emails would hit the public record. I did reach out to Rakuten for comment, but didn't hear back from them. But regardless of Rakuten's motives, this termination was still a disaster for PayPal. It got the entire affiliate world talking, and just a few days later, PayPal quietly deactivated their defeat device and broke their silence. They apologized to the industry, if you can even call it that, via an exclusive statement to Hello Partner, the same publication that wrote the What Mega Lag Got Wrong article. Lol. On Monday morning, Rakuten advertising.
Are you like 35? How old's Mega Lag? Why? Who says lol out loud?
Shared an email with partners notifying them that PayPal's Honey browser extension had been terminated from the network and removed from existing affiliate programs. The dispute follows accusations from industry commentators. Okay, that's hilarious. They won't even cite me by name anymore. When I'm wrong,
Industry
I'm
commentators.
When I'm right, I'm just a industry commentator. Classic. The dispute follows accusations from industry commentators and professionals that PayPal Honey uses a defeat device to detect user type and selectively bypass.
Well, it's not an accusation, it's demonstrably true.
Stand-down policy. Rakuten Advertising declined to comment on the move. I wonder why. PayPal has now shared an exclusive response with Hello Partner. PayPal and Rakuten are long-standing partners. We are aware of the actions taken regarding PayPal and are working with them on a resolution. The code causing this behavior has been identified and no longer has an impact. The code was implemented prior to PayPal's acquisition and appears to affect less than 0.1% of Honey's traffic.
That's not wrong. It's not. This appears to affect less. Yes, that's such a. I fucking hate you. That's such a fucky way to phrase that. The defeat device affects only 0.1% of Honey's traffic. Yes, because the defeat device was only there for industry testers. Correct. Yes, it only. It did only affect a minority. The minority who were testing it.
Now, PayPal claiming the defeat device only affects 0.1% of Honey's traffic is, in my opinion, incredibly misleading without additional context. As I highlighted in my last video, Honey stored the code for this defeat device in the cloud, meaning they could alter how strict the system was at any time without ever updating their extension on Chrome. A single rule alteration could change how many people Honey targeted, and that's exactly what happened. In 2023, Honey's defeat device would ignore stand-on rules for virtually everyone, unless they found cookies on your computer, signaling that you had visited an affiliate network's website. Clearly a tiny percentage of their users. But sometime between then and the release of my first video, PayPal quietly altered the rules, requiring users have at least 65,000 cashback points before they would break the rules.
So only the whale
They
users.
went from targeting a very large portion of their users to a much, much narrower set with one quiet update. So when PayPal says 0.1%, was that under their latest rules or the old ones? I did ask PayPal for clarification, but unfortunately, they're not interested in answering my questions anymore. Instead, they offered me a corporate slop statement, which I'll include at the end of this video.
Okay.
Now, this next statement is really interesting. The spokesperson said that the code was only recently discovered by PayPal, and upon being made aware of it, the company has deactivated.
Recent is another one of those fun little weasel words. Recently discovered. Firstly, what does recently mean? Secondly, what does discovered mean? Because you can have something that we don't know about. It's not documented. It's not discovered. That's a thing you can do. It's scummy, but you can do it.
That is patently false. Yes, the defeat device was developed in 2017 under the original founder's leadership. Then PayPal inherited it when they acquired Honey in 2020. However, at the time, the defeat device was encrypted, scrambled, so that even if someone found it, they couldn't read it. Then, in 2021, under PayPal's ownership, the entire system was rebuilt. The rules were restructured into a completely new format and stored in plain text on PayPal servers. That's not a minor tweak, that's a fundamental redesign. PayPal's developers had to build that from the ground up. You can't rebuild a system, continue adjusting its rules year after year, then claim you had no idea it existed.
Imagine
PayPal
you're the
claiming
guy
everyone-
at PayPal that has to deal with that. Like, that's your job. It's like, yes, I am the guy who is scamming people. I am the guy who is defeating industry auditing. That's me. I do that. To be fair, it's probably more exciting being a fucking Spotify engineer. Spotify, I heard the other day, I don't know if this is actually right. Spotify has how many engineers? Spotify has 3,000 software engineers. I don't know what the fuck they do all day. You could probably run Spotify with 300. What the fuck does Spotify need 3,000 engineers for? You know what they need it for? They need it for, like, random other bullshit that has nothing to do with Spotify.
Here is
Hopefully got paid a lot.
The way I
Probably.
see it, it's just a straight up
Or it was an intern. That would explain why it was no longer encrypted.
lie. And let's not forget, I alerted PayPal to the defeat device in my request to comment sent to them on December 18th. But rather than immediately deactivating it, PayPal labeled my accusations as not accurate and ignoring basic facts, then had their lawyers threaten to sue me. They only deactivated the code on January 13th, almost a full month later. The article ends with a statement from a PayPal executive stating, "We regret the impact this situation has had on our partners and look forward to working together for the betterment of the entire
Sure you
industry."
do.
Now, you may have noticed this article isn't exactly dripping with criticism against PayPal, and there's a very good reason for that. You see, when I first saw the What Mega Lag Got Wrong article, I initially brushed it off as a publication trying to be contrarian for clicks.
Sure.
But then they published another article, this time platforming a post from Honey co-founder Ryan Hudson, who attempted to write off my entire investigation as a conspiratorial hit piece. Both articles were written by the same journalist, Sol Wilkinson, and for neither article did Sol offer me the right to respond. Yet he had no problem doing that for PayPal. So I'm thinking to myself, man, these guys at Hello Partner sure have a raging boner for Honey.
Sorry, no.
Man, these guys at Hello
It's another one of these logos, man. It's another one of these logos. Rotate your head a little bit to the side. Rotate your head about 90 degrees counterclockwise. God fucking damn it, man. Why? Why does so many... It's another one of these goatsy logos. God damn it. God damn it. So many companies have these.
Partner sure have a raging boner for Honey. This led to me digging into their company, and surprise, surprise, Honey was a premier sponsor of their flagship conference. Probably should have disclosed their conflict of interest to their paying subscribers. But here's where it gets even more hilarious. Sol, the journalist, actually emailed this article to me explaining that Hello Partner is, quote, Switzerland when it comes to industry disputes, which is why they didn't offer any opinions on PayPal getting booted from Rakuten.
But you got opinions from PayPal?
That's right. The guy who had no problem criticizing my work is now claiming he's Switzerland. You can't make this shit up. And get this. I offered Sol an exclusive statement to include in his article addressing the claims made by PayPal, something most journalists would jump at. But of course, it was never included. All things considered, pretty shocking behavior from a publication that lists inclusive and unbiased as one of its core
Well, they're
values.
unbiased. They're unbiased
as
towards
annoying
their
as this
stance.
behavior is, bias
And
in the
what they're
media
paid
is
for.
by no means a new concept, and it makes navigating the news incredibly frustrating, which is
Ground news. I'm thinking ground news.
Why I've partnered with today's sponsor, Ground News.
There it is.
Ground News curates news articles from thousands of outlets around the world, so you can compare how
I'm
different
on YouTube
publications
way too
cover
fucking
the
much,
same
man.
story. And for each
God
story,
fucking damn it.
you can see how many outlets were tracked, who those outlets are, their political bias, reliability, ownership, and even the specific differences in the articles.
Ask Gemini to explain what Switzerland means in that context. Switzerland is generally a neutral country. Switzerland, like they don't like in I believe it stems back to the World War II. They don't side with any side. They just kind of like chill and just don't do anything
Themselves. Let me show you
like,
a great example.
we don't want to deal with this. It's your fucking problem.
Bloomberg recently broke the news about another shopping extension engaging in nefarious behavior. One that I too have been investigating since last year. It's called Fear, and it's co-founded by Bill Gates'
Fair
daughter.
enough.
Apparently, being born to a billionaire just ain't enough. Now,
I
they
watch
were
on my phone
allegedly
a lot.
caught cookie stuffing
Same as
as
Turkey in
well
World
as
War II.
violating stand-down rules. Awesome. More shady behavior in the industry. Now look at how it's being framed. Most outlets are leading with the celebrity angle. Bill Gates' daughter busted. While others are highlighting that people in the industry raised red flags about this company long before the scandal broke. Same story, but one framing is built around a famous name, while the other
It's what older than World Wars. You know what? Let's side tangent. Why is Switzerland considered a neutral country? After suffering a major defeat in the Battle of fucking Margarine, I don't know, Maragano, in 1515, Swiss Confederates realized expansion was too costly and decided to focus on internal stability. Formal recognition: the Treaty of Paris in 1815 guaranteed Switzerland's permanent status neutrality, later enshrined in the 1848 Federal Constitution. There you go.
questions why the industry
It's about 100
didn't
years earlier than World
sooner.
Wars.
That distinction is something you can spot much quicker,
But probably
on
earlier,
Ground News.
informally.
And that's why
Informally,
I took the sponsorship.
informally.
I don't do many, but I've worked with Ground
You know
News in
that?
the past, and I'm
Enjoy.
really big on platforms that help cut through the noise and make my job easier. If you'd like to give it a jam, go to ground.news/megalag and check it out. And if you subscribe through my link, you'll get 40% off the Vantage subscription. You can also scan the QR code on the screen here if that's more convenient. Moving on. Shortly following Rakuten's termination, the situation for PayPal only got worse. The
Okay.
CEO of Impact, another major affiliate network,
I do know that
announced
one.
they too were taking action against Honey. Following a thorough investigation, Impact has determined that Honey is out of compliance with our platform policies and has been removed from the Impact
And let me
Discovery
guess, they
Marketplace.
probably had no issue. There was probably emails that showed they were working together as well, and they had no issues with it until the
We've
lawsuits.
also temporarily suspended their account while we confirm they have made the necessary changes to comply with our terms and conditions. Now, this sounds a lot worse than it really is. They basically just pulled Honey from their marketplace, meaning new merchants can't discover or partner with Honey. Online stores already partnered with Honey through Impact will remain unaffected.
So it doesn't
Still
actually
sucks
have
for
any
PayPal.
effect. Okay.
Obviously, this limits their ability to grow. But
Oh no, new stores can't join. Oh no. What are people gonna do? They can't shop on fucking Grandma Betty's jam store. They can already just shop on the big stores they're already on.
that's about it. The next network to take action was Awin, and this one mattered the most because Awin is by far PayPal's biggest affiliate network partner, giving Honey access to over 16,000 merchants.
Wow.
The response came straight from their CEO, Adam Ross, the same guy who initially brushed off my entire investigation as clickbait. Awin Group is providing an update on its ongoing investigation into Honey's browser extension practices following recent public scrutiny within the affiliate marketing industry. As soon as Awin Group became aware of the allegations raised publicly, we opened a formal internal investigation into the activity in question. The investigation
you
has
did.
since confirmed breaches of our publisher policies. Honey has confirmed they regret the impact the situation has had and agreed they will work with us to remediate that impact. In line with our standard enforcement processes, Awin Group immediately took protective actions. These
No, you
included
didn't.
suspending payments and access to new advertiser programs. So Awin cut Honey off from new partnerships the same way Impact did, But on top of that, they also suspended Honey's payments and put them on a remediation plan. This plan involves PayPal funding certain initiatives like giving networks access to their source code and implementing policies for online stores to manage and remove unauthorized coupon codes. Now, I will give credit where it's due. These three networks at least did something, which is more than we can say for these other networks who stayed silent
Shopify
and,
doesn't give a
as
shit.
far as I can tell, did absolutely nothing. The consequences of these actions are significant. This is terrible PR for PayPal, it's costing them real money, and it will almost certainly be used against them in the ongoing litigation. However, the fact that every single one of these networks has allowed Honey to continue operating on their platform is genuinely fucking insane. Even Rakuten, the one network that terminated Honey, has since quietly allowed them back onto their platform. And frankly, I'm not surprised. Look, these punitive measures obviously suck for PayPal. But when you consider
issues
the
die down, just
seriousness
fucking
of
ignore
what
it.
they did, it's nothing more than a slap on the wrist. And that sets a terrible precedent for the entire industry. Because every bad actor just watched a Fortune 500 company break the rules, build a system to cover it up, got caught, yet was ultimately allowed to continue doing business. Good luck enforcing the rules after that. Now, regardless of how these
You just gotta not be a Fortune 500 company. If you're a little company, you don't get away with anything. But if you're a big one, well, that's, rules are, they're just suggestions.
networks have handled this, the fallout from the scandal has still hit Honey hard. And that's mostly thanks to you guys. So I was curious to see if there were any measurable insights into how much damage has been done.
Okay.
Well, thanks to data compiled by my buddy Yelta, we can actually put some numbers to it. And it's brutal. On top of losing 7 million users, Honey has also lost over 7,000 merchant partners, even after being allowed back onto Rakuten's network. We can see that in December 2024, Honey was partnered with roughly 35,000 online stores, and that number has since fallen to just over 28,000. That's a significant loss of business. And keep in mind, some merchant partners are more valuable to PayPal than others.
Right.
For example, one of those lost partnerships was Apple, who was Honey's largest partner in terms of monetizable traffic.
Okay,
Here's
yeah.
a crazy statistic. Apple alone generated more shopping traffic than Honey's bottom 27,000 partnered stores combined. And Apple wasn't the only big brand to jump ship. There's a ton of them. So yeah, that's gotta sting. Honey's database of coupons has taken a huge hit too. As of December last year, Honey had 90,000 coupons, but is now down to about 50,000.
It's still
There's
a lot,
very good
but
reason
sure.
for that loss of 40,000 coupons. One of the issues I highlighted in the series was Honey quietly harvesting coupon codes from users at checkout without their knowledge or consent. As a result, private employee discounts, friends and family codes.
That is crazy they were taking employee discounts. That probably got some people fired. Like, that legitimately probably got some people fired. I don't know about every store, but the places that I've worked at, like, they're very particular about how you use your employee discount. And they will, like, track over usage of it. So if your code got into a network like this, like, tens of thousands of dollars from random different places were all coming off of it, it would look like you were trying to, like, abuse that system. I guarantee someone got fired from that.
Military veteran discounts were ending
Okay.
up on Honey for anyone to use. Well, the vast majority of codes recently removed were user source coupons, going from 29,000 down to just 3,000.
Wow.
So it appears as though the networks have finally cracked down on this, which is a huge win for the small businesses who were affected by this behavior. But it's not all good news. Of the 50,000 coupons Honey still has, at least 10,000 are still known to be expired. And PayPal is still applying those codes at checkout, fully aware that they're expired. I've confirmed this through multiple tests, as well as reviewing Honey's source code. Now keep in mind, Honey was previously claiming commissions on sales, even when they couldn't find you a working coupon. And around the time I exposed this issue, PayPal had around 14,000 stores with no valid coupons and zero cashback to offer. So this wasn't some random edge case scenario as some people have speculated. No, PayPal was earning legit money while wasting your time with expired codes. Google did try to put an end to this behavior in 2025 by updating their Chrome Store policies. This enforcement barred extensions like Honey from claiming commissions unless they actually provided users with some form of benefit. Sweet, problem solved, right? Well, not quite. Honey found a simple but clever workaround. They just quietly activated cashback across virtually all of their partnered stores.
So they were willing to take a little bit of hit on cashback just because the commission was going to make the money back anyway.
That might sound like a win for consumers, and technically it is, but for the majority of those stores, Honey is only offering 0.1 to 1% cashback. And based on my own testing, Honey has only ever given me the minimum of the advertised range. And based on the latest captured data, Honey offers this dog shit rate for almost 70% of their cashback active merchants. Point is, Honey still benefits from enticing you with an expired coupon because when it inevitably fails, they default to cashback, allowing them to cash in on the sale while giving you pennies on the dollar. But hey, on the bright side, at least PayPal aren't poaching affiliate commissions nearly as often as they once
they're
were.
still doing it.
Speaking of which, let's discuss the ongoing class action lawsuits because there have been some really significant developments there. As most of you already know, PayPal's behavior caught the attention of a ton of different law firms. One of the first to file was YouTuber and attorney Legal, who filed a class action against PayPal Honey on behalf of content creators.
That's a
Legal. Of a ton of different law firms. One of the first to file was YouTuber and attorney Legal.
Legal. Oh, that fucking accent, man. The fucking accent. Legal.
Filed a class action against PayPal Honey on behalf of content creators. After he filed, around 20 other law firms filed similar complaints across different states. Now, when you've got that many law firms suing over the same thing,
I get to make fun of the New
courts
Zealanders.
don't want to handle them all separately. That's a huge waste of valuable court resources. So the cases get consolidated into one big class action, and the assigned judge selects a small group of law firms to lead the case. But that's just the creator lawsuit. Most people don't realize that on top of that, there are two additional class actions against PayPal over Honey. One brought on behalf of consumers in the United States, and another on behalf of consumers in the United Kingdom. Both are suing PayPal for allegedly misleading consumers with false marketing claims. I'm not going into detail on those particular lawsuits today, but here's where they currently stand. The case brought on behalf of consumers in the UK.
Speaking of New Zealand, I just learned of this and I hate it. What have you sent me? What is this? Oh, House Centipede. Oh, this is chill. Yeah, that's fucking cool.
Was recently dismissed. However,
that reminds me for
is
the
now
next
being
video.
appealed in the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals.
Like
As for the US consumer case, that's still ongoing. But let's talk about the creator lawsuit, which is being overseen by federal judge Beth Freeman in the Northern District of California. 3 competing law firms were selected to represent the plaintiffs, the content creators. Interestingly, Legal's firm wasn't one of the firms chosen. I guess being first to file doesn't automatically win you a seat at the table. But hey, shout out to Legal for taking the lead and bringing more attention to the story. Anyways, once a case is consolidated, the defendant, PayPal, gets to assess the claims made against them, and almost always they file what's known as a motion to dismiss, which is them basically asking the judge to throw the case out entirely before it even moves forward to trial. Now, in November 2025, there was a hearing on that motion to dismiss, which I listened into live. And during those oral arguments, it was pretty clear that Judge Freeman wasn't entirely convinced that the content creators had demonstrated that PayPal actually violated any contracts. So, things weren't exactly off to a good start. But the judge laid out for the lawyers where she felt the complaint fell short. She also allowed discovery to begin, meaning both sides now had to start handing over documents and evidence. And a few weeks later, she issued her formal decision, effectively dismissing all claims but with leave to amend. This means that while PayPal got a temporary win on paper, the lawyers representing the content creators were allowed to go back, fix the issues the judge highlighted, and file an amended complaint. Regardless, it didn't take long for the usual suspects to take a premature victory lap. PayPal's lawyers, hello partner, and of course Ryan Hudson, who tweeted case dismissed despite not owning the company anymore. But little did they know, I had an ace up my sleeve. That of course being the discovery of Honey's defeat device, and I was fairly confident that once exposed, it would help the case significantly. And sure enough, after that video went live, the lawyers formally included it into the amended complaint. Now, I'll be honest, I was a little worried they wouldn't because they only had like 5 or 6 days after my video was published before their amended complaint was due. But they managed to pull it off. So, let's take a look. On page 65,
I'm sure they're very happy
the
about that
following.
one.
PayPal devised several methods to ignore or circumvent stand-down protocols. PayPal designed Honey to surreptitiously avoid standing down at all.
We didn't know,
when it detects
guys,
the
we
browser
didn't
is
know.
likely being used by an actual consumer rather than a network tester or network auditor, i.e. users who are not there to shop but to test the browser extension for compliance with stand-down rules. Honey has created 4 basic criteria through which it determines whether or not to stand down. The lawyers then lay out the 4 criteria Honey tested: how old your account was, how many cashback points you had earned, if you're on a blacklisted website with special rules, and lastly, whether you had visited an affiliate network's website, which the complaint describes as arguably the most glaring reveal of PayPal's bad intent. Couldn't agree more. So there you have it. My big discovery now formally alleged in a federal complaint. Not gonna lie, after all the hard work I put into uncovering this, it feels good. And the inclusion of this evidence wasn't the only improvement. The lawyers did a great job strengthening the complaint across the board. Okay, but what effect has all of this had on the case? Well, on June 4th, there was a second hearing on PayPal's motion to dismiss. And this time, there was a completely different energy in the courtroom. The moment the hearing started, the judge made it clear that she believed this case could move forward. And when she invited PayPal's lead attorney to make his arguments, Richard Jacobson, the same lawyer who sent me the cease and desist, she joked that he had an uphill battle ahead of him and might not be winning the motion to dismiss. A brutal thing to hear before you've even opened your mouth. And it only went downhill from there. Throughout the hearing, Judge Freeman constantly pushed back on PayPal's arguments, challenging them at every turn. To give you an example, at one point, PayPal tried arguing that affiliate IDs don't hold any real intrinsic value because they're just short strings of numbers and letters.
What? Sorry. They don't hold any value because they're short strings of numbers and letters. That's... Oh my... Thankfully we have a judge here who's not a fucking moron. Yeah, it's an ID. What the fuck else do you think an ID is? Oh, it's just a short string of numbers. Yeah! An ID!
The judge responded with something along the lines of, well, you could say the same thing about a dollar bill. To which Richard replied, quote, I don't know how to respond to that. And in my view, that kind of sums up PayPal's whole defense. On the other hand, as the lawyers representing the content creators presented their arguments, the judge mostly listened in without interrupting. It was pretty obvious which way she was leaning. So it seemed very likely during this hearing that the amended complaint had done its job. Now, it's important to understand that when a judge rules on a motion to dismiss, it's not as simple as deciding whether to throw out the entire case or keep it.
Right.
The judge has to go through each individual claim and decide on the merits of each one separately. So for example, she might say, yes, I see a legitimate case for computer fraud, but no, I don't think you've proven unfair business practices.
Right.
She could dismiss every claim besides one, and the lawsuit would still move forward on that one remaining claim, just under a much more limited scope. And after listening to the hearing, I thought the judge would allow most of the claims to survive, but not all of them. Well, on June 22nd, Judge Freeman issued her final ruling, and every single claim survived.
Wow.
And that is a huge win for content creators and a massive blow to PayPal. So, what happens now? Well, now that the case has survived, there's no reason for the lawyers to delay the discovery process. That means PayPal handing over documents, internal communications, and
well, there's a reason to delay it, just to destroy evidence, but you know.
Possibly facing depositions under oath. And given that the defeat device was developed prior to PayPal's acquisition of Honey, it's entirely possible that the original founders, Ryan Hudson and George Ruan, get dragged into this process as well. And honestly, I think they should. A lot of this started while the company was under their leadership, and I think they need to be held accountable in some way. It's also worth noting that since the defeat device was exposed, Ryan, who was previously very vocal in trying to defend his former company, has now gone completely silent.
Yep.
Pretty telling if you ask me.
His lawyers told him to shut the fuck up.
Now, with that all said, realistically, I think PayPal settles. I doubt PayPal wants their developers sitting in a deposition room explaining the defeat device under oath. And look, don't get me wrong, if a settlement gets content creators their money back, obviously I'm all for that. But a settlement also means that those depositions may never happen. No testimony about whose idea it was to create the system, no one on the record explaining why it existed for 7 years, and the full story of what went on behind closed doors at Honey, well, that potentially stays buried forever. But here's the thing, regardless of whether this case settles or goes to trial, there's something very important that I didn't get into in my last video, and it could make a huge difference for every affiliate who had their commission stolen. You see, from the very first day that Honey deployed the defeat device, they added code that documented every decision it made. So each time the system decided to violate stand-down rules, that decision was logged. Every time it decided to play safe, that too was logged, along with which rule triggered the decision. But more importantly, they also logged the original affiliate link the user clicked on, which often contains the original affiliate's ID, and in some cases, even the affiliate's name. Now, assuming PayPal has retained this data, and I think there's a very good chance they have, it means that somewhere on PayPal servers lies a detailed record of every single instance in which this defeat device enabled the theft of someone else's sale. And I'm fairly certain the lawyers will be demanding access to that data if they haven't already. And if it's as comprehensive as I believe it is, a lot of the stolen commissions could potentially be traced back to the original affiliate it was taken from. But here's a better idea. To the affiliate
I think that,
who are most certainly watching
I don't know if they would have kept those records. If they did, holy shit. If they don't settle, man, this is gonna be something.
Video, if you truly care about protecting content affiliates, don't wait for the courts. Demand that telemetry data from PayPal and make them pay back any commissions that were stolen. It's the right thing to do.
We've coordinated closely with industry partners to evolve practices that promote accurate attribution and value for consumers. Honey remains available to advertise on major affiliate networks, including Rakuten, Awin, and Impact. Honey is free to use and continues to provide savings to millions of shoppers. This is not even a statement. This is just a bullshit statement. Holy shit. It has been a while. Forgot we had that one open. It has been a while since I have heard anything regarding Honey. Man, that was crazy. I don't like that. If this lawsuit goes ahead, like, yeah, they're probably. Here's the thing, right? Any lawsuit against a big company is not actually going to affect them. Because here's the thing, right? How much is it actually gonna cost them? The answer is probably far less money than they actually made. And that's the reason why these companies do stuff. It's because they don't give a shit if the end result is still higher. Do reports like these make you think about sponsors and how to trust them? Depends on what they are. Like, if the sponsor is like a simple thing, like, we are offering, I don't know, fucking, GitHub actions that run faster and cheaper. Like, there's nothing crazy about that, right? Like, that's a totally normal thing. Or, this is a sponsor that offers AI code review. Like, there's nothing off about that. But when it's something that you kind of, that's gonna sort of web its way into your entire life, like a VPN, right? Like, a VPN is one of those things where I am hesitant, we'll say, to recommend them, especially the ones that I don't personally rely on myself. Anyway, we'll get to this one shortly.